so hypothetical situation. Say, hypothetically, you got a buddy who wants to go out and get, let's say, oysters. And hypothetically, of course, the boat sinks. And seeing as you're going to be in an environment with oysters, you figure why not try to get on some trout and redfish, which would make an awesome catch and cook video. Well, hypothetically, that boat sinks with all your hypothetical camera gear and terminal tackle and 90% of your soft plastics. What do? You gotta start over. So this is basically just the beginner's terminal tackle kit. So it's based around my 5 favorite beginner techniques that require terminal tackle. So that means it's not going to be any crankbaits. I'm not going to be showing any spinner baits. There aren't going to be any jigs. It's going to be the basics. The basics, about as basic as you can get. They're one-aught octopus hooks, not octopus circle, just octopus hooks. These are great for wacky rig and drop shotting. These are made by the Bullet Weight company. Bullet Weights for Texas rig. Offset worm hook. This is a 4-aught. This is my go-to size. I just think I use these when I'm throwing the Texas rig and the weightless Texas rig. Shaky head. So all this is fairly basic tackle. You can pick it up at Walmart. That's where I got it from, as you can tell. So let's get to how I was fishing them. I took this, I tied a polymer knot, then I think it had about 8 inches of clearance till we got to the weight, and the weight is just a simple overhand knot locked in. Nothing special, because when it comes down to it, if this gets stuck in the rocks or something, I want to be able to easily break it away. I can sit here and talk about it all day, but I think I'd rather show you how I actually fished it. So let's switch over to the drop shot fishing footage right about now. Alright, there we go. Got one on the drop shot. Alright guys, there's a pretty nice drop shot bass. Basically I was just casting out and just very, very subtly twitching it, barely even moving it at all. Some people say when you're fishing this you don't even have to move it, just like the vibration that you give off the wind, the current moves the lure just enough. So that's how I fish the drop shot, and obviously it's doing its job. So as you guys can see, I was mainly pointing out to cover and grass lines, and if I did see bass, I would target that bass. The polymer knot is a really strong knot, so you don't have to worry about it coming undone when you clip off your weight. All you gotta do is leave a little bit of a tag in, and it will hold just fine for your wacky rig. Let's show you that footage right about now. Alright guys, next up, we're gonna take off this drop shot. We're gonna use the second use for these hooks, the wacky rig. Boom, just like that. Now I can't tell you why, but this method just triggers fish. I don't know why. I mean, I imagine it's supposed to look like a dying bait fish. It just like slowly flutters to the ground. It definitely gets their attention, and then once it hits the ground, you just get stuck on a log. That's what you want to do. You gotta get stuck on a log. So yeah, I'm casting out near structure. Right now I'm just kind of focusing on these grass sides and letting it flutter down. And then once it's on the bottom and I can see it and I know there's no fish kind of checking it out, I'll just pop it a couple times and then let it flutter back down. Ready? Ready guys, ready? There he is. Well, this is a predicament. Well, I mean, obviously, you can get them on the wacky rig now. It's just the getting them in part. No, God! And the line snapped. Well guys, that was the drop shot. Obviously it worked. Hopefully, if I still got some momentum going, at the end of the day I'll throw the drop shot again. But you guys just saw that it worked. I got him to that grass bed where the grass, I couldn't get him out of the grass. So next up on the list was the Texas rig. So basically when I'm lining up my Texas rig, I just make sure the line goes in through the small part of the cone first and it comes out. And then you gotta make sure to tie a snell knot on there. If you want to know how to tie the snell knot, go ahead and check out my Texas rig video. It'll show you exactly how I tie up my Texas rigs. Now that I explained to you exactly how I tie on my Texas rig, let's go ahead and show you the footage of me actually fishing with it. So we're going to switch over right about now. So the Texas rig is probably one of my favorite go-to techniques for beginning anglers. It's one of the most versatile things you can throw, and it's perfect for almost any situation. Now what I do is I make kind of longer casts with this. You don't need to be as targeted in your area. So I just cast out and I reel in kind of slower, just with like little twitches. That just agitates the bass. There he is. There he is. Come out of the grass. See? Nice little Texas rigged bass. There's another nice one, Texas rigged. I had that Texas rigged on a trick worm Texas rigged. I'm gonna throw him back, and we're gonna get another one. So as you can tell, I was kind of making longer casts than the other lures, and I was kind of hopping it along. I'll also drag it along or just give it little taps, just to give it very minute action if I wanted to. And it worked pretty well. It's definitely a great technique for the newer anglers and even to the most experienced anglers. If you're a bass fisherman, you should definitely know the Texas rig. I took the weight off the Texas rig. You can either just drag these real slow, or you can use an erratic motion to give them almost a jerk bait feel. So I'm going to show you guys exactly what I was doing when I caught a nice bass on the weightless Texas rig right about. Has a way smaller rate of fall, so it kind of helps out with the fish when they're not really wanting to bite all too much. I like to use this a lot when the bass aren't really wanting to bite, or if you're in a really pressured area. There we go, guys, one on the weightless Texas rig. What I was doing there was I found a grass patch sticking out of the water, so this guy's gonna need some surgery. So I cast into it, and once I felt the grass tugging, I ripped the lure out, and that's when this guy hit. As you guys can see, I was making a really long cast with that one, giving it an erratic motion and casting towards those points of the weed beds. I was really just looking for the reaction strike, and I did get it. It wasn't a super strong reaction strike, as I almost couldn't tell it was a fish. I thought it was grass, to be honest, and then the grass started swimming away. So obviously it wasn't just grass. Alright guys, last up is my favorite fishing technique, the shaky head. I actually had to struggle long and hard to get a solid hookup on the shaky head, probably because the line tie is set up in line with the point of the hook, which was a huge design flaw. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the footage of me actually fishing with the shaky head right. Alright guys, that one was a tough one. It took quite a while and it produced a really small fish, but it's still a fish. So that's 5 for 5. So that was me fishing with the shaky head. I was just casting out towards the shorelines where the grass is, where the points are pretty much, and just slow drags. And as I was dragging, I was kind of tapping the pole on a slack line. That gives it a really finesse bass action. It doesn't give it a whole lot of movement, but it gives it just enough to get the bass's attention. Alright guys, so those are the techniques I first picked up as soon as all my terminal tackle was gone,